Hey guys, welcome back to the Heavy Crown Network and the Royalty podcast, where myself and my little sister Simone are here to recap The Amazing Race season 38. As you know, it's a Big Brother Amazing Race crossover. And unfortunately, we have these two here because they were eliminated. We wish they could be here under different circumstances. But we have Nat and Steph, Natalie and Stephanie Negrotti. These girls, let me tell you, because Simone and I didn't really know them before going on The Amazing Race, but we grew so close to them. We have literally an infinite amount of love and respect for their sisterhood and them two as individuals. We are so excited that you two are here to chat with us about your Amazing Race experience. And it really does sound like you guys got what you were meant to out of the experience, which was your sisterhood. So let's get into it. Nat and Steph, how are you guys doing?
We're feeling good. I think as the days go by, you start feeling a little bit better. But definitely on Wednesday, it was like I mentioned before, just like reopening the wound and having to deal with those emotions again. Not as on a higher level, but definitely on some type of level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have like mixed feelings, but I am mostly sad. And, I put my heart and my soul into this, but I'm more sad than any other show that I've ever done that I've gotten eliminated on because it was with Steph and like the closest person to me. So I feel like I am, I just got broken up with and I'm watching my ex-boyfriend at dinner taking out another girl to dinner. That's how it feels like, it just sucks. But I'm still glad that I got to do it with my sister. And like you said, we did set our intentions before coming. So we had individual intentions and also we had intentions as a team. And our intention was to strengthen our relationship. So I believe that we did use the Amazing Race as a tool to really catapult and speed up our progress in, when can you be without a cell phone for all these weeks, no external distractions with a person, right? So we used it as a tool to enhance our relationship instead of letting it break us apart.
Absolutely. And you guys, at the end of the episode, I don't want to like jump way ahead of the gun, but you guys talked about how, of course, you're sisters, so you're biologically related, but this race, sort of allowed you guys to explore your friendship. And Simone and I can sort of relate to that because, correct me if I'm wrong, you two are like a year and a half apart. Simone and I are about 2.5 years apart. So pretty close in age, but Steph, like as the big sister, sometimes you just get into that mode, and Nat, as the baby sister, you oftentimes find yourself in that mode too. And the Amazing Race really allowed me and Simone to be equals and partners and see each other as peers. So that was really cool and just different from what we're normally used to.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what we were struggling with too, like, with our upbringing, with some adversity that we grew up with. We'd boss each other around, and like Steph was a parent to me, right? So sometimes she'd tell me what to do, even to this our big old ages that we are now. She is telling me what to do, but I'm the little sister. I'm like, stop telling me what to do, like, stop. But I know that my sister means well, right? So now we're at the point where we're like, okay, we're friends now. Like, we both know, like, I shouldn't be bossing my sister around. She should be bossing me around sometimes still, though. Is that, is that? But no, we literally made sure that this show, like, it really helped us become friends and become equals, right? And just honestly, it made us understand each other a lot more. I know how to deal with my sister a lot more. I know also how to be a lot more respectful to her. And I learned to listen to her, which is the most important. Sometimes I can talk a lot. So I can talk over her and I can disrespect her without meaning to. That's never my intention. But I've learned to, like, sit back sometimes and, be more respectful in that aspect as well. So I feel like our relationship has really solidified. And I've been telling all my friends, they're like, how are you and Steph doing? I'm like, our relationship is better than it's ever been, and I'm just like, we're friends, and we call each other, we tell each other things, like we really have a friendship now.
I love that so much. Oh, Simone and I just love
Yes.
you too. You guys,
Yes, we're team yin yang sissies forever and
Oh, and I have a
ever.
surprise for all of you
I
girls.
wore yellow for my yellow team too
Yeah.
today. So
Oh,
we love you
sweet.
So
Yes, for
I'm
all
doing
of you
something
guys.
bad. I'm doing something bad on Saturday.
oh,
Nobody knows. On next Saturday, nobody knows. Not even Steph.
what?
So,
Are you?
you girls will find out very soon.
Is it something mischievous?
It's
So you're
very,
not a mischievous girl.
yeah, it's mischievous.
Wait, what's the quote?
I mean, you guys, this was so funny. This was on our way to Hungary, and it was like 3 a.m. We were outside at a train station, and we were all, it was like the top 6 teams, I think, that were on that train, and we were all
Yeah.
like just trying to huddle and keep warm, and we put
And
all
then we were also,
over Nat,
yeah.
and we were also doing like jazzercise, and Nat just goes, "Guys, I'm not a mischievous girl. I just do mischievous things."
Meanwhile,
The
Nat's
whole
covered in
season.
everyone's bag from different teams. You just start plopping because it's freezing outside. So Nat's like on like cold concrete with bags all over her. I think it was like me, ours, Eric's, whoever else is around. We're just
Everybody just put their
Yeah.
bags on top of me, like a
Yeah.
kimono.
Yeah.
Yes,
So that's
exactly.
the visual you guys had of me being like, I'm not a mischievous
Mischievous.
girl. But the whole time you guys were saying this while we were racing, and you girls would
Yeah.
say it. This quote, they would quote it all the time. And one day I was laughing, so I was like, "Girls, you guys are so funny. How'd you come up with that?" They're like, "What the heck? Now you made that up."
and then I knew it was like the first time we actually got to like talk, and then all of a sudden like uh Simone and I had a moment where we knew the same video meme. He's like, "Hey, who do you think you are?"
And then in that moment, we knew we liked these girls.
Wait, edit in that video later on in this clip right now. I'm a very
Please,
good bad boy.
bad boy. Oh my gosh, I literally quote that video, and then obviously Nat, I'm not a mischievous girl, I'm just do mischievous things.
We
But
need a
lately,
shirt.
yes, well, lately I've been quoting Steph's quote from Chappy CC, which if you guys aren't already on Chappy CC, you guys should totally join. It's so fun. But Steph said, or maybe this was on your Instagram, I can't remember, but you said, "I'm a master of all, jack of none." And I quote that all the time.
That's
And it's just
iconic.
like,
You gotta
that's
in today's
iconic.
economy, you gotta be versatile.
So true.
Jack of
Exactly.
none. You guys are brilliant. And again, like, I don't think this can be overstated. Simone and I have so much love for you two. Like, we came
Yeah.
in already close to Taylor and Kyland because I obviously played a season with Kyland and I lived with him for a while. And we came in like being pretty tight with Jag and Jazz, Joseph and Adam. So Simone and I kind of thought like, okay, those are going to be our people. We're not really going to venture out and form new relationships.
No new friends.
No new friends. But, like we formed such a beautiful friendship with you two, and in my humble opinion, that was one of the best things that we could have gotten from this experience because
Yeah.
we just, oh my God, we love talking to you.
I
two.
remember
feeling
I
is
remember when we were
mutual.
in the hotel in LA, and then
Oh.
the previous team, I don't know why they left, but then they're like, "Well, there's a mystery team replacing this team." And then Nat was like, "I think I know who it is. I don't know, but maybe." And then we saw you girls, and me and Nat look at each other. We're like, "They're so adorable."
I was
Like,
like, I said, these are the ones we wanted on. These are the ones.
and then Nat at one point, when she got to know you a little bit more, she goes, "Nat," she goes, "Steph, we have to protect them." So whenever
Aw.
they come across our path, because I know it's going to be like stretched out, like we got to do everything to protect these girls.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then because Nat saw you, herself, and you when like she was your age, and so I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, totally, we got to protect the babes. Like we totally have to.
And
Yeah, I'm like a big feminist, and I'm a girl. You know, all the shows I've done, I'm a girl's girl. Like, I'm for the girls, always will be for the girls. And
Yes.
also, being an NFL cheerleader, you girls are dancers too. Like, you know, I was actually Sunshine Girl of the Jets all the years that I was a cheerleader. So I was
Aw.
beat that by our director, our coach. And so I had to bake for all 40 girls for all their birthdays. If they had a passing in the family, I would be the one to send flowers. So I was team spirit. So for me, like and people don't realize, like two of my Jets teammates, Krista and Tiffany, that did the Amazing Race, got me on to Big Brother, and then
Yeah.
and which got me on the Amazing Race. So we're a sisterhood of girls that people have this negative stigma of, you know, especially feminine women and you know, women that are NFL cheerleaders. models, things like that, that they're not girls, where that could be further from the truth. So for me, I always like treat women. I'm a girl's girl, so I always will apoyar. I will support the women, and especially when they're as young as you girls, like you girls, I'm like, oh, these are my baby sisters. Like, no,
Yeah.
no one's gonna mess with these girls, okay?
Wait, I have
No,
a bone to
and
pick with production because your intro to our season, like the
yes,
dancing move,
the boom,
like
boom.
yeah, like Natalie and I did something not as cool. Well, it was more on the dorky side. We literally made it a heart
Huge
with our
heart.
hands, and
Yeah.
I was like, they should have put that in.
But
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
issue
that
is
was cute.
Instead, we did the little one, but we made a heart with our bodies, like in the green screen room.
Yeah.
but how did you guys do that? Because Nat's like half your height, Steph.
know.
I know. It probably looked like a lopsided heart.
Aw.
No, but your girl's intro was the best. I was like, yeah, those 8. Those are
Oh
Okay,
my
I think
God,
I hit one of the notes.
Listen, we did not win the million, but I do think Simone and I won best intro for sure.
yes.
For sure. Wait,
I
and
mean, with
sorry, go
you
ahead.
girls are on your way to be millionaires. I mean, like Simone, you're gonna be like a music marketing queen, and Hannah, you're gonna be a doctor. Like
Thank you,
your
Steph.
future's locked in.
You guys
Oh
are
my
gonna
gosh,
adopt me
y'all's
in your
too.
future.
No, we're all gonna be
We're
millionaires.
all gonna be.
Millionaires.
Locked
Yes.
in.
We're all on our way there.
And
Millionaires.
wealthy and happiness and
Exactly.
excitement.
Exactly.
I can smell it.
We're gonna
Yes.
be millionaires in money, in love,
Yeah.
in happiness, in prosperity, and all the good things. Also, I'm just thinking about Jack and Enzo's intro, how they're like,
Me too. They were just like,
Jack and Enzo need their own TV show because
I know.
Steph, I
Yeah.
don't know if you know this, but I got hit the other week, like 2-3 weeks ago. I got hit by a car.
And it
What?
was Enzo.
And Enzo texts me, yo, was that you on the side of the road? And I'm like, yeah, it was me. He goes, oh, I knew that was you. I was like, why didn't you stop to save me? He's like, I was going to, but I was bringing my kids to school.
Oh my gosh, no way.
I'm sorry.
Wait, also,
That is wild.
Mom Donnie,
Yes. Yes. Wait,
you
okay.
girls had me my flabbers gasted. Like, how?
It was okay. Well, Joseph was the one who kind of facilitated everything because he
Yeah.
has a mutual with Mumdani. And so Mumdani, I align with pretty much all of his views, but on top, like, regardless of whether you align with them or not, you have to acknowledge that he killed his marketing. His marketing and his
Marketing,
appeal
yeah.
to Gen Z and his use of social media and TikTokers and reality personalities.
Community and collaboration, like
That really, I think, maximized his visibility to the point where people who aren't interested in politics knew exactly who he was and what he was running for. So he did something with Survivor a couple weeks ago. And that's kind of how this collaboration was born. And it was really cool to get to meet him. And he was so warm and he greeted everyone who crossed paths with him. And he was just on it. He was on it. He was personable. He was professional. And it was like neat to incorporate Amazing Race lingo into
it was great.
us
Yeah.
helping to endorse him. I just had the most fun day ever. And I got to do it with literally my favorite people on the planet besides Simone and Steph, who couldn't be there, but like Nat, Joseph, Izzy, like I got to spend a day with them. I was
Like-
so happy.
And then I saw that it was like in the Asian aisle too, in a bodega.
Yeah.
No, it was
Like,
H Mart.
H-Mart.
It was H Mart.
H Mart. Oh my god, H Mart's got the
Yes.
best snacks.
Steph, we were me and Hannah were drinking banana milks by the pints. Like we wouldn't,
So
like,
that's
we're
what
like,
that's
"We're
what
not
fueled
going
your
to
lines.
juice
You guys were
boxes."
fueled on banana milk.
Exactly.
Oh, so good. We were laughing so hard. We wouldn't stop drinking those banana milks. And then I bought extra to bring home.
Now you were like 16, and I think by the end of it, I actually drank like a pint of banana.
Oh, how was the melon one? Was it good?
The melon one was so good. I might have liked it more than the banana milk.
Really?
Joseph was like, "Why are there so many juice boxes in front of you guys? They come in little juice boxes."
Like Danimals.
No, like actual juice boxes.
Oh.
So
Oh.
Joseph's like,
Hannah and Simone, by the way, you guys don't drink alcohol, right?
No, we don't.
No.
I hit my 1 year of no alcohol in November 1st.
Oh, congratulations.
We love
I
that.
honestly don't even miss it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Do you think you'll go back? Was it sort of just like a year thing or like more so a
So,
permanent
you know,
thing?
I work in hospitality and also too, like, I feel like a common factor amongst people in hospitality, you know, like, we all end up in hospitality for a reason. And I think it's all maybe trauma based or whatever it is. So, a lot of people, what I notice, they resort to drinking in hospitality and they drink a lot. And I find that people like disassociate through drinking and all that stuff. And I was like, kind of like going into that path just a little bit. And I realized, and I was like, wait a second, like, I don't want to disassociate. I don't want to drink away my problems. Like, I want to elevate my life. I want to move forward. I want to evolve. And then I was like, you know what? Like, I wake up feeling like shit, anyways. Excuse my French. And so I was like, you know, let's make a change. And it also helped that my girlfriend doesn't drink either. So it really helped me align myself and my vision to like other more beautiful things. And I think it's like really like changed my life in so many ways. And I wanted, you know, to pivot away from the current career and evolve into something else. And it's really like helped align like my day to day. And it's like those little habits that you change that could
Mhm.
end up changing your life forever. So it's been a year and it's been a beautiful year. So
Yay,
Oh, that's
sissy.
amazing. And it definitely sounds like you found a lot of like clarity in your decision and you definitely got what you wanted to out of doing that. So, Steph, you should be so, so proud of yourself and we're all cheering you on.
thank you. Yeah. And like, you know, I think I ended up in hospitality because I probably have undiagnosed ADHD and like I couldn't concentrate in college, but I was always intellectual in my own way.
Yeah.
And so I dropped out of NYU of all schools.
Mhm.
And then I ended up in hospitality. And it, for some reason, hospitality just like catered to my ADHD because it's like you have to focus on so many different things at once. And it's so intense that like my brain just got drawn to it. And then eventually I was like, oh, but I just want more. I was always into science. My dad is a scientist and has his PhD. And I was always really good at chemistry in high school. And so I was always like leaning towards that, but I didn't have the ability to like focus in school. And so then now I'm just like, my girlfriend and I started a marketing firm and like I'm pivoting away from hospitality and taking more risks
They have
and like
their
taking
first
on more clients.
client.
And
Hey,
it's just like the snowball effect is just it's just going right now, and I'm just super stoked. And then also back to Amazing Race gave me the confidence in myself, and I realized how much more brave I am, and it taught me to just kind of go and do it. And so like in a way, back to the Amazing Race, it kind of helped my personal life as well.
Yeah. I
that's
was
incredible.
I was always like, Steph, like you're the best at everything you do. You know, like I me and her as her little sister, I always would hype her up and I would always be like, Steph, like you're the smartest, like you're the best, like you're all that. And like I can't like there no matter how much I would tell her, she wouldn't see it for herself. And I'm so glad that we got on the Amazing Race because not only did she notice that for herself, but the world saw it. The amount of DMs, texts, comments on TikTok, comments on Instagram saying how much people were like, we're rooting for you and your sister. We absolutely love your sister. We love you girls. So we had a lot of people that are really sad. People are like, I don't want to watch the show anymore. A lot of people are really bummed, but especially because of you, Steph, people really, really loved you. And that was just like a really special thing.
Absolutely. Well,
100%.
I have so many things to say, as per usual. The first thing is, Steph, I'm so proud of you. Congratulations on a year of sobriety. I think that's amazing that you could recognize within yourself, like, something needs to change here to enhance my life, and you were able to make that change. So just know that you always have Simone and I in your corner supporting you.
Yes.
And the second thing is, I'm really shocked to hear that you maybe like weren't the most confident in your abilities before the Amazing Race because I remember meeting you and just being so impressed by your caliber of intelligence and literally your ability to do it all. Like I
Yes.
was just so
This is
impressed.
why she's a master of all and jack of none.
So,
I just remember being so like floored and amazed and inspired by you and inspired by some of the other people that Simone and I were privileged enough to meet on our season. So I'm really happy that now you recognize those things in yourself, but I'm almost like If I was that good at everything, I would not know how to act. No, really, would not you would not hear the end of it from me. I would be everywhere. But and also like you girls just have this warmth to you and just like your caringness and your love for others and your willingness to kind of take others under your wing. Like both of you truly are so talented and gifted and you guys just have hearts of gold and you will never ever 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 catch me saying a negative thing about these two ever 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 ever. So
Yeah,
Hey, but if you ever wanted to start the fake drama that you've been craving,
I can't
I
with you. I can't even do it with you two. It would have to be
wait.
I don't
But this speaks volumes about you because like you're so like kind and awesome that like even if you crave the drama, but the drama doesn't come to you.
I don't know. Eric said he'd be willing to beef with me, so we have to like
Eric,
That's a good beef. I'd follow that.
we have to meet and figure out where we want to take this.
I would like to see an Eric and Hannah showdown.
I actually don't know who would win because Eric is so logical and well thought out, and he doesn't
Yeah.
say things just for the sake of saying them. So I don't know. Well, tune into Chat BCC to see
Yeah.
who prevails.
I
exactly.
Put the link in.
Yes,
yeah.
Exactly.
The fight. I'll host the fight. I'll host
Yeah.
the fight, and then Simone can be the ring girl.
Now we'll go
Oh
around as,
yes, or I'll
now
be
we'll go
cheering
around
on
as,
the
like,
sides.
UFC, like poster girl. Round one.
Yeah. Just like strutting across.
Yeah.
You have Simone putting ice on Hannah's neck, massaging her shoulders.
Yes, exactly. And then I like turn her. I'm just like, all right, you got this. Oh, or I like take her robe
And
off
then
like
you give
while
her like
she
a
stands
swig of
there.
like ginkgo biloba for like brain function.
Yes. Or I just like feed her like straight protein powder and just like chuck it in her mouth. Or what is it, like pre-workout?
No, they're like just dry pre-workout.
Yeah.
All for me to type on social media.
Yeah. Wait,
But
the way I feel like that would be like a funny skit. Like I could totally see like Jag and Jazz making like a skit out of that.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Shout out to Jag and Jazz's Instagram. They're actually, well, not
They're
actually,
really
they are
funny.
so funny. Like I love the skits
The
they make.
skits that they have are so funny.
They're such
Okay.
goofballs. I really do love our cast. No,
Yeah.
I can't be
So,
in real drama with our cast.
Speaking of first timers on TV, Simone and I were first timers, and
Yeah.
to us this is normal, but to Natalie and Hannah who've been on a TV show before, you said that it's not normal to like absolutely get along with your whole cast.
No.
Is that correct?
Well, my season was kind of the one anomaly season of Big Brother where we actually did get along and we like traveled together after our season maybe once a month and we're still active in our group chat to this day, but from my understanding we're the only cast that's like that. Right now.
I was in a toxic season. My nickname was FT. And every time I'd walk into one of the rooms, the guys would be like, FT walked in, FT's in the house. And I was like, what's FT's? And they're like, oh, it's free throws. And the truth was, their nickname for me was fake tits. So I was on a really nasty, vulgar season. It was just so disgusting. But at the end of the day, I mean, I love where my career has taken me. So I had to just deal with the punches for that. But no, most seasons you don't get along. The challenge, no, you're not going to get along with everybody. And then I did a dating show called Match Me If You Can with a bunch of just reality faves from Too Hot to Handle. So Love is Blind. So they made us all date each other. We all got along because it was a dating show, so it was really, really fun. So that was a good vibe. But other than that, no, in the competition world, it's really this is like a real this is an I literally was like, I'm not coming in to make friends. That was like my before I didn't tell I don't know if I told you Steph this, but I was like, I'm not coming in to make friends. I'm not here to kumbaya. I'm here to make that meal for me and my sister and focus on me and my sister. And that is not what happened. I ended up liking everybody. So I was so shocked.
Yeah, I was a little intimidated too because everyone was had already been on TV. I was like, what are these people gonna be like? Like, what are? And Natalie and I didn't really know anyone. You guys were all familiar with each other, and I remember it was the train to Germany when we all finally got to talk to each other. Remember that?
Yes.
Yep.
And
Such an amazing
and
memory.
at first I was like kind of intimidated. I was like, who do I talk to first? Like, what's going on? And all of a sudden, like, we were all just yapping away. and getting to know each other. And then I remember you, me, Natalie, us girls were in the back of the train, like talking to each other. And then all
Yeah.
of a sudden, like we all got lost in conversation, and that's why we missed the actual Berlin stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Well, this is a perfect sequitur to talk about the episode. I completely forgot. That's why you guys are here.
Yeah, this just feels like a FaceTime call. Like, genuinely, I forgot that we were in a podcast.
So before we make it to episode 7, episode 2
Okay.
was a pretty crucial, I guess, point in the season because that's when the Trainwreck Alliance was formed. And typically, alliances aren't something that we see on The Amazing Race, especially named alliances. That felt very Big Brother-esque to me. So can you guys talk to us a bit about the Trainwreck Alliance, kind of how that helped you and how you feel like it may have hurt you? And obviously, Simone and I weren't in the alliance, but we very much felt connected to all 3 of your teams. And Simone and I had this understanding where, like, if we were in a position to help any of you guys out, we would. And we felt protected by you guys the same. So we were team Trainwreck from the sides, team conductor,
Yes.
team
So,
conductor.
Exactly.
so like I said, Natalie and I didn't know anyone, and our presumption was that you guys, since you all knew each other, you guys already had these like secret alliances going on, and so we're like, dude, we don't know anyone, so we got to get on people's good graces, and like, so we don't get U-turn or whatever it is. We're just trying to like just be neutral, and so then we met Jag and Jazz on one of the trains. It's like, hey, nice to meet you guys. They're really sweet to us. And so they're like, buttering us up already before anyone even talked to us. They're the first team to actually come up to us and talk to us.
Yeah.
And then we started meeting you guys on the train, and then we all got off accidentally on the Berlin Straw or whatever. And
Yeah.
so then everyone scattered like roaches, and then me and Nat were running around, and we're like, where are we? And so we went to the ticket person at that train station. And then Jag and Jazz and then Joseph and Adam just like were like, should we just like work together and like get the hell out of here? And then Nat was like, yeah, let's just stick together, get the hell out of here, and then like get to where we need to go. And then fast forward, that got us in an hour early into Prague. And then we equally all just helped each other. So Joseph and Adam like helped with the tickets, Jag and Jazz helped in their way with like directions, and then Natalie and I helped in our own way when we like basically did the was it with the crates where we gave people that plus we wrote directions for the boys. So basically we all held our own weight, and after that it was just like, all right, well, like if this is gonna help us like move forward to at least final 3, let's do it. But we were also like aware that this is also a game, and like when we need to like do our own stuff, that we have to do it. I think Natalie and I realized that like a little too late that we needed to start running our own race, and that's eventually what bit us in the ass. And you mix that in with like race brain, and your prefrontal cortex is not thinking the way it should. And then also too, like we were kind of like we were pushovers at the ticket office, and we should have just like handed in the thing. It's like, hey, alliance done. Like this is our ticket. You know what I mean? And so it's just also just being a human. It's like, okay, like you're human, you want to be a good human, and then you're also racing for $1 million, and it just like it just teeters like that.
But yeah, our loyalty, me and Steph are very loyal people. It's just culturally, like that's just how we are, and also as women, we just are very loyal, very honest, and we always do what's right, right? We don't like we always do what's right and what's good for everybody. Sometimes though, we could be a little bit too selfless, where we help too much, where it shoots us in the foot, bites us in the ass. But I feel like we did play authentically, right? But I do wish that we were a little bit more aggressive in certain situations. I wish we had a little more audacity. And the word audacity I've been throwing out a lot lately because me and Steph were watching the show, right? And we got sisterhood, friendship, we got confidence from the show. We got a lot of the things we wanted to get out of the show. But it's always important doing all these shows. Like, what is the takeaway? What did you learn from the show? What are the positives from the show? What are the negatives, right? Because everything has a positive and a negative, especially in our industry. So for me, I was like, oh, well, one of the negatives that I saw for me and Steph was we don't campaign or champion for ourselves as much as we do for other people. So I feel like moving forward, we have to have more audacity, and also we need to be a little bit more outspoken when it comes to matters that affect us.
Mhm.
And that's what decided to take out of the show for myself. And why were we just sitting there? Like, we got to the ticket office first. Why didn't we also throw our tickets in, right? Like our passports
Passport.
in.
Yeah.
Joseph and Adam did it. They snuck their way in before us. They did it. What? So me and Steph also, like, we're so loyal to a fault where we do hurt ourselves. And it is, my followers have been telling me now, but like, this is such a beautiful quality to have. You girls are such good people, and this is just so, you have good hearts. But yes, we have good hearts, but I feel like me and Steph can find a balance where, we are, taking care of ourselves first and foremost, and secondary, we can help others out. So we have to find that balance now and also
Yeah.
learn to speak up for ourselves. So that's definitely a takeaway that I've been implementing in my own life now.
Yes, our mom always says to us, Hannah, let's say it together. You have to put the oxygen mask on yourself.
For
Yes, exactly. And so we can totally see what you guys are saying. Yes, because like the only way to fully extend your hand to someone else is if you have like full mobility and control over your own hand. And
Yeah.
so that
yeah.
totally makes sense.
And then also looking back, like seeing how, and by the way, we have still love for all the teams. It was like
Of
it's no one
course.
else's fault but our own,
Yeah.
And I think like if we would have gotten that other ticket, it would have totally changed the course of how it all turned out. It would have, I believe, because also too, if you think about Romania, it wasn't like Netherlands where you had the whole day to make mistakes. Romania that day, it was you had very little room to make mistakes because the each competition was so fast. It was a very fast day, so you had so when we got lost, I like if we wouldn't have got lost, maybe we would have beat Izzy and Paige and Chelsea and Jack. Like if we would have gone on that first plane, we wouldn't have been last because like the room for mistake on that leg was very small, and it was actually kind of like not that long of a day.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
that's
That is such a good point, and I didn't even realize that. You're so right.
okay. This is interesting, and this is kind of this is what I wanted to ask you guys because sometimes with editing, you don't get an accurate feel for like how long the day is, how long each challenge is. Starting from when you guys got to the travel agent office, I just wanted to ask, like, were you guys actually the first ones in, or like,
So
what was the
We
distance
were the
between you?
we're
first to
gonna
arrive.
backtrack to the taxi
Yeah.
because it was actually a
Yeah.
2 hour taxi ride,
No, it
and
might have been Steph. It might have been 3 hours. It was really
it was
long.
2 to 3 hours. Like we woke up at like 4. We didn't get there till like 6 or something like that. It was a very long taxi ride, and what they didn't show is that Natalie's taxi, our taxi, and then Joseph and Adam's taxi, we were actually racing for 2 hours. So we
No
left like
way.
10 to 15 minutes before they did, and somehow they caught us. And so our taxi driver was abiding to the speed limit, and theirs wasn't. And so it was like this back and forth, like please hurry up, and then like we would get called back, and then it was just like this back and forth. So technically,
We couldn't speed, but their car was able to speed.
Mhm.
yes. And so then we were like sitting ducks, just kind of like taking it for two
I
hours,
was
and we're like,
I was so mad that I was so furious about that situation that our cab driver wouldn't go faster, and then their cab driver was going so fast.
and when we talked to the other teams, all their cab drivers were zooming, and then our
So
cab
Izzy and
driver was like,
Paige's, Jack and Chelsea's, they all went 120 to 140 kilometers per hour and never
we
got
were
slowed
stuck
down.
at 90.
And we were stuck at about 80 to
Oh.
90. So I made note of that. And I asked all the teams after when I saw them at the airports and when I saw them at the ticket counter at the travel agency. So I did do my homework, right? I did go to school for journalism, so I do know the questions to ask. And I just was like really upset about that, like how we like it's not fair, right? For me, it wasn't fair. So it's like, why can't we go at the speed that everybody else is going? And so after that, I was just like already mad. And, I don't want to get so mad where like I yell at people. And I was also just like in such a like bad headspace because it all was also scary. Like you're driving through 3 hours in the middle of the night. It's pitch black. You're in a new country. You're in this race, high stress. So by the time so we arrived and we got to the ticket agency, the travel agency before them, but like this is the travel agency, but we parked like a little bit front and we got out to go in. They parked behind us right in front of it. So they were able to walk in first. But at the end of the day, me and it's the amazing race. What
You got to
stopped
do what you got to do. Yeah.
what stopped
Mhm.
me and Steph? Like they had all the right to do that, right?
Yeah.
Why? Because we learned from this, like alliances are good, but also playing independently is very good too. So for the next show, if me and Steph ever do a show again together, we're gonna have that right amount of essence of, an alliances and just social game, but also a lot of it is going to be independent playing. So we're gonna shift gears with that and reprioritize, our independent game. But no, we could have spoken up. We could have grabbed our passports, thrown it, fought, campaigned for us, been more aggressive. And that's what I do regret. The one thing I do regret on the show is not doing that for ourselves and, having the audacity that men have. And I'm not talking against Joseph and Adam, right? This is something that I see in my everyday life.
Socially, culturally, that's just how it
Living
goes.
in, Mom? Oh, go get Abuela. Go get her.
Aww.
Pappy's been a little aggressive. Pappy got attacked by another dog.
Oh no.
Is he okay?
Yeah, he's fine, but he's still just off.
Yeah.
I'm still trying. So I'm gonna bring
He's
him.
in fight or flight still.
Yeah, so I've been therapizing him for 2 days, and it's just been an emotional wreck for me.
Oh,
Um,
I'm
yeah, it was the
sorry now.
scariest thing I've ever experienced in my life. But he
Oh,
is a little bit more vocal right now than he usually is, just
yeah.
because of that. But anyways, yeah, I do. I wish that me and Steph Mama would have advocated a little bit. We would have advocated more. And I was saying too, like in our culture, the Venezuelan culture, we were raised in Venezuela in our youth, and the girls got pulled out of the park to come help cook and help set up the table where the guys got to keep playing, right? Our guy cousins and our guy family members. Then after we ate, the guys got to go straight to play video games. The girls had to clean up the table and put everything away. So that's how we were raised in our culture, right? And then I was also saying too, like I was an NFL cheerleader and like I did work corporate, and a lot of the jobs that I've had throughout the years are jobs where as a woman you have to kind of, be grateful and take what you can get and like don't ask for more money and this and that. So I learned to just bite my tongue with a lot of these things and just get in a way taken advantage of, I would call it, right? Or like just not treated fairly, and I would have to just endure it. So I feel like that silenced me a lot in certain situations where I can be a very vocal person, and in that situation too, just all of that came out plus the stress, and then we just allowed that to happen. Our loyalty, we allowed all that to happen. And, moving forward, we wouldn't have been bad people if we just fought for it, right? And let the best person win. But that was a pivotal moment for me to watch. And I was just like, wow, like, I looked at that, I was like, I never want to be like that. That's not even who I am. That's not what I represent. Like, I never want women to do that. I don't want women to watch TV and watch me just sitting there and not fighting for myself. So I'm making big changes from that.
Okay, but I mean, what a blessing it is to be able to watch yourself and kind of catch those changes as they're happening and be like, okay, from here on out, I'm making a commitment to not doing XYZ anymore. And
Yeah.
like you're not, I hope you don't beat yourself up too much about
Yeah.
that, because I think that's, as you said, something that a lot of women struggle with is just not being assertive enough, because society may make us out to be the bad guys if we are pushy or
Yeah.
if we do advocate for ourselves. And so I think something that I learned even from watching Wednesday's episode and from like watching that moment, that exchange between your team and Joseph and Adam's team is like, okay, I too need to do a better job of just sticking up for myself, because I have no problem sticking up for other people. But when it comes to putting myself first, that is a struggle, and men don't really have that problem to the same
No.
extent as women. So I think that was a great learning lesson for a
Yeah, and
lot.
I think like Hannah, like I think a lot. Hopefully, a lot of women can like look at this podcast and take this segment of this podcast and just maybe take that with them to their day to day. So maybe this can influence a lot more women and people in general to like stick up for themselves and advocate for themselves and get what's rightfully theirs, and work on your confidence, which your confidence is everything. It's your guiding light. Listen to your intuition, and I think that hopefully we can inspire a lot more people and move on from it. At the end of the day, we're all very healthy, beautiful people, and so like that's what we can be grateful for. And we didn't win the million, but we got amazing friendships like you girls.
Yeah.
And we got a beautiful experience, and something that like not even 0.05% of the whole world population can get to experience. Like,
Yeah.
who can walk on the top of some national landmark in Prague and say that they walked 200 something feet in the air, where not even people from Prague get to do that on their daily. So I think it was an awesome experience.
Okay, but we're not finished recapping yet, because that was just
Yeah, we're just getting started.
Also, when it said like, okay, Tucker and Eric departed at 11:55, and then you guys, I think, departed right around 1 something in the morning. Had you guys just finished running leg 6 earlier that day and then didn't really get to sleep
Oh
and
yeah,
then
I
had
was
to
doing that
leave?
too.
Or
Wait,
did
which
you,
one?
for leg 7, it
Okay.
said like your guys' departure times were pretty late at night slash pretty early in the morning. So does that, or did that mean that you guys finished running leg 6 and then a couple hours later leg 7 started, or did you guys have a full rest day in between?
So between 6 and 7, we kind of had a night to rest, and then we left to go to the ticket counter at 3 a.m.
Mhm.
Got there around 6, and then their flight left at 11. Our flight didn't leave until like 5 p.m., 6 p.m.
Mm.
So we were there like the whole day essentially. And then I seen them. They got in there so early. They got in around like 2, 3 p.m. And we got in at like 12 a.m. Like
12,
we
was
got
your
in.
flight delayed?
I don't know. It was a long day. I remember us getting there when it was dark, around like 11
Oh,
p.m. I remember us not going to bed till 12. We were exhausted that day.
wow.
Yeah.
So they were able to hang out and chill out at the shipping containers, which were our
Campground.
rooms. And
Yes.
so they're like, yeah, we've been here like chilling, and then we were there, and it was late, and I was like, what the heck? Like it was late, and then also like that's why I missed like the little like number that you had to pull to jump out. And so it was discombobulated, and also we like almost crashed. Like this taxi race was worse than the Croatia
One
one,
going with the
because
travel.
we left first. We learned like, hey, get the front taxi, like let's go. And so we were able to like take a lead, and all of a sudden I was like, hey, you gotta go, like follow the ways, like. And so then this guy was like driving like kind of crazy, and then all of a sudden I see the Asian pager, one of the other teams, like zoom past us, and then we were going the right way, and then all of a sudden we didn't tell him to chase them. He starts chasing those taxis. And then they freaking skid in the middle of the road. We almost hit them, and there's a massive
Yeah.
bus behind us. And it turned into Mario Kart all of a
It
sudden.
was crazy.
And
Oh,
we're like, you missed the turn. Like we were on the right way. Why are you following him? So we would have gotten there first if we
Yeah.
wouldn't have, if he wouldn't, our taxi driver wouldn't have started chasing the other teams who missed the turn and almost got
yeah.
into a car crash.
My
And
God.
then when we pulled into the clue box, I remember Taylor told me, she's like, I heard you guys freaking like skidding in like Mario Kart into the driveway and like all this commotion. I was like, yeah, when we pulled in, we freaking like skidded because there was a dirt road, and it was insane. It was like the craziest taxi drive that we had like the whole season.
Oh my gosh, that
That's
sounds terrible.
wild.
But
Yeah.
okay, I have another question, because you guys had obviously been traveling with Chelsea and Jack and then
Yeah.
Izzy and Paige. Did you guys kind of take that opportunity to bond with them? Like, what was that like? Or were you guys just on ice for the entire travel?
No, we were able to talk. I remember specifically Nat and Chelsea just giggling for hours that we were at the airport, like, because we finally got to hang out with everyone, and then we were just chatting, catching up, and like, hey, haven't seen you in a while. But I specifically remember Chelsea giggling a lot and Natalie giggling a
Yeah,
lot.
we were giggling a lot.
Oh.
And
Jack also asked me, "How are you single, girl?" You need to get yourself, you need to get yourself a man. He couldn't believe that I was single. And I was like,
Well, listen,
Jack, I know I can't believe I'm single too.
and then
Phil
I got to know like Paige and Izzy a little bit more, and
Yes.
I just like Izzy is just so animated. I just couldn't believe how animated she was, and like this is really who she is. And then Paige is more like kind of like stoic, and she kind of just like she's like Cat. She's just like, but
She's
her
a daddy.
one-liners,
Yeah.
but Paige's one-liners, I was like, this girl is so like they're both so funny. Like they just entertain.
Oh, 100%. Also, can we talk about that shot in the show? I don't remember where Izzy and Paige were going. Oh, it was on the way to the pit stop. And Izzy, she got the slow-mo. And she was just like,
Yeah.
like
All right, insert,
please,
insert.
girl.
I
Iconic.
I love Izzy and Paige. They're not only fun to watch, but obviously now that you guys are no longer in the running to win, Izzy and Paige are our only hope for an all-female team taking
Yeah.
it home this season. So I
I
think,
applaud them.
yeah,
They truly did run their own race, and they were like, we're not working with anyone. We're kind of just doing our own thing. How whether the viewers like it or not, and how they want to, how they're portrayed. But like, I think they're genuine. They are one of the most genuine teams that stuck to their own strategy, that listened to their intuition, and I honestly do like admire their game, and even just being U-turn and coming out on top and even surpassing us, and we weren't U-turn. Like to me, that's like just such a feat and so admirable, and like they're just such a strong team, and that for me was awesome to see.
agreed,
Yes.
agreed. And also going back to Nat, or Jack saying like, Nat, I can't believe you're single. Phil was trying to change that on the race, and they completely
Oh, yeah.
that whole storyline. It was always
There
Nat.
was no
Nat
storyline.
no, but they were definitely trying to make it a
They're
story.
trying to push me onto Eric, then onto Joseph, and
I'm glad that they didn't do that, because like we before going into the race, I was like, nah, they've always tried, because you're like the pretty cute short one, like they always try to put you as like a romantic partner with someone. And I was like, I just want like the world to see you for Natalie, not to you for to be attached to another man, and that pissed me off.
Yeah.
yeah. So
And
Steph made the executive decision, no showmances for me for the season. So I was gonna just gonna vibe and give a little wink, a little flirt whenever I could. But that was all I could do.
I said no.
I had to keep to myself.
No, because I know Natalie had a bad experience on Big Brother. The first time she was there, she got bullied around a little bit. And then, there's a situation where it was kind of a toxic thing that happened. And I was like, Nat, like,
I had to call. I actually had to file a police report against a castmate. Yeah. So
and
I
so
just, yeah.
Wow.
and it like it haunted her for a while, and I was like, nah, I just want people to like see you for you, and I just want people to see you for you. I just want you to be your authentic self, and like we don't need a man to attach themselves to our story. Like we just want people to see us for us, and I think that's what a
Yeah.
lot of television does, is that they try to do that, and I was just like, again, it's not my style, and I wanted Nat to just shine with her own light.
And I respected that. I did respect it, and I did agree with you.
But it was funny. That's what the viewers didn't see, is that they tried to do a showmance between Eric and Natalie. But the green team
Yeah.
was so far apart from us. There was no.
we barely saw them, so it was impossible. It was
Yeah, no
impossible.
one could have been in a showmance with Eric because it was Eric and Tucker versus the world.
Yes,
Yeah.
Jag and Jazz could have been in a showmance with Eric because
that's
the way
that's
I
the
never
only
saw
thing
them.
for them.
But okay, so you guys get to the skydiving place, and can you help us understand kind of like the difference in times when you guys jumped? Because it seemed like an equalizer to viewers, but was it not actually an equal? Okay, please explain.
No.
No. So we waited 4 hours at the airfield just for people to jump, and so it was the first time I actually got to talk to Eric, and him and I were like, okay, we're like blood brothers, like we
We're
vibe. And then
besties
like
now.
but we're all chatting and hanging out, we're waiting, we're like, where the hell's our team? It was an overcast day. And so what they don't show is that the first two airplanes were like 5 minutes apart, and then the airplane that I had to wait for Izzy and Paige, Natalie, and who else was on there?
Chelsea.
Chelsea. That was a 15-minute apart airplane. So we had to wait an extra 10 minutes for our 10 to 20 minutes for our plane to touch down. So that also even like put us like further back in time between
Yeah.
all the other teams. And so I think like that was also like a frustrating part for us, but obviously like I think we got through the challenges pretty quickly and people kind of teetered. But that was something that they definitely didn't show.
Ooh,
Yes.
okay.
Wait, also, so sorry, I forgot to ask this earlier, is can we talk about what was it like when everybody started like arriving to the shipping containers? Because one thing, or I guess like quarters. One thing that I love to see and that they included in the edit was I can't remember. I think it was when Izzy and Paige came, how everybody was just like giggling, and it definitely did give the dynamic of like how it'd be on the trains like when the cameras weren't filming. So what was that like from your guys' perspective? Like did it almost seem as if like the stakes were dropped in that period of time and it was purely just like seeing everybody? Because I feel like Hannah and I could have totally seen ourselves just like showing up and being like, oh my gosh, like hey, and then just like having a ball with it.
For sure.
Well, we had a shitty 24 hours, so we just wanted to go to bed.
Yeah,
That's
I
And
did
honestly so fair.
confront
You guys did say you were exhausted.
I did
yeah, we were
confront the
tired.
Train Wreck Alliance. I was like, listen, like, you guys owe us, like, but I just didn't
We were
feel
just
good. Steph was like, don't yell at anyone. She was like, Natalie, do not fight with anyone. She was calming me down. I was like, I won't, but I'm still gonna speak my truth. So I did go up to the guys and I told them I was really just like upset and like, they owe us. So I was going to collect. So I said, I put them all four of them, Jag, Jazz, Joseph, and Adam. I said, you all owe us. And, I needed to get that agreement. But yeah, I wasn't relieved because I was relieved in a sense like, okay, everyone's still here. Like they didn't get far ahead of us doing other things. So I thought it would be more of an equalizer. But at the end of the day, it's skydiving. So you're not going to have an equalizer, right? It takes the
Right.
flight. I mean, this was the highest um,
skydive.
skydive of all of Amazing Race history.
Oh my
So
gosh.
over 13,000 feet. So imagine each plane, it's going to take them a long time to get up, to get down, and then the next plane. So at the end of the day, it did separate us a lot by a lot.
And they also didn't have like the teams in front wait at all after they had come
No.
down. We were just able to go, okay. So
Yeah,
that,
once you land, you go. And so they had to, then after that, they ran into the field, this field, and then it was like we ran to the sheep den, and then it was just the sheep situation was interesting
Yeah.
where our sheep, like we had our sheep like jump out of our pen
oh my.
Yeah, with the boing
with a
sounds.
boing, and you see these
They were
little
all
legs just
jumping
like
out.
flop up.
Wait, really quickly before we get to the sheep, I want to backtrack because this was a
Go.
roadblock, so only one person was able to do it from each team. Nat, I remember you talking to us during leg two about how scared you were of heights. So what made you guys decide that Nat was going to be the one to do this, and how did it feel to kind of conquer that?
Uh,
So
you
n-
go, Sophie.
now you'll talk about conquering it, but I decided that she has to do it because if we had to do anything like directions like that Croatia one where you had to memorize the facts and run around, like if we
Hmm.
had something like that, we were gonna be cooked because Nat's not good at directions. So we were leaving anything that's related to directions for me. And that
Hmm.
way, like
And
all Nat, I was like,
memory.
Nat, all you have to do is jump. You don't have to think. You don't have to
Yeah.
do anything. There's no strategizing. You just jump with someone who's like super expert at skydiving. And then Nat, how was your
And
experience?
then I was like, I'll do it. Great. I'll just keep my eyes closed. But I also wanted to think about, okay, like, I always rely on my sister as a big sister, right? And I kind of, my brain shuts off and like she takes the lead. So I did prepare for the Amazing Race to be my sister's equal. So I worked on all my weaknesses. I learned how to change tires. I learned how to do so many things that my sister can already do so I could help her with everything and I could be also at her level. So with this, it was I was like, I'm gonna have to do this because Steph has better memory. If there's a memory roadblock, she's gonna have to do it. If there's a heights roadblock, she's gonna have to do it, right? We're getting to the nitty gritty up part of the race where every little mistake can take you out. So I was like, oh my gosh, like I was thinking of the severity of all the other roadblocks to come. And if there was something like the Zizkov television tower, the Amazing Race has so many height competitions. So I could not have done the Zizkov television tower because I'm deathly afraid of heights. People have seen me doing a lot of heights competitions on the challenge, and I did very well. But I don't know, the older I get, the more scared I get. So there's certain heights that I absolutely can't do. So I was like, you know what, this one I can just jump off. Steph's right, I'll close my eyes and I'll just get down there and I'm attached to someone. This is easy. I just jump. When I got up there though, I did cry. So I remember we're getting our instructions like of how to do it, and like we had to practice and we had to like lay on this bean bag, each of us. So I'm crying, scaring the entire cast, obviously. Everyone's like, it's gonna be okay. The people, all of our helpers and all of our guides are like, it's gonna be okay. But I was like getting scared, and then I told myself, I was like, everything's gonna be fine. So I then put myself in this like non-emotional state where I didn't feel anything. Like I kind of numbed my body. I got the cryo,
Disassociate.
numb my body. I got in there, and I'm also claustrophobic. So these little flights are so tiny. There is duct tape closing the windows. So I was like, oh my gosh. So I'm like, but I'm like numbing myself. And I also ended up getting the jumping guide, who's like a master. He's done the most jumps out of most people like in the world or something crazy. So I was like, yes, that's my man.
Yeah.
Attach him to me. But no, jumping was really cool. You're attached to somebody. He kept going, open your eyes, open your eyes. So I opened my eyes. I did like some fun moves up there. I was like, because we have our camera. They didn't hear that. So I was like having fun. But then it gets hard to breathe. So when you're falling, there's moments where it's hard to breathe and it's so cold. So like I felt myself maybe getting some anxiety. So I would just go into Zen, calm myself down, do breathing techniques that I've learned through therapy, and then I calm my body down. So it happened like 3 times where I felt a panic, like an anxiety attack coming on, and then you just calm yourself down and you're fine. So by the time I landed, I was like already done with my meditation. So I was like, get me out of this. And he started spinning me too. There's one moment where we're spinning, spinning, spinning. I was like, he goes, isn't it amazing? And like, hell no. This is the first and last time
Okay,
I'll ever be doing this.
wait,
Okay.
did you girls see also how Paige turned into a dead possum?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
Oh my gosh,
oh
that was
my gosh.
so funny.
And I loved her line that was like, they say it doesn't feel like you're falling, but it just feels like you're falling
Yes.
the whole time. I love
Yes.
that. Also, Simone
Yeah.
and I, because we knew that the Amazing Race typically does incorporate heights challenges. So her and I went to Hawaii in January, and we did skydiving in like preparation for the race, and we did zip lining and a bunch of other fun things.
Oh, cool.
And
Yeah.
so we were so jealous that you guys got to go skydiving because Simone and I love heights. And that was one of the things we were banking on because we knew a lot of people would probably be scared.
Yeah.
But that's something Simone and I love doing.
Did you go to Oahu to skydive?
No, we went to Maui. It's literally
Maui.
called Maui skydiving.
Got it. Yes.
Yeah.
Shout out Robbie and Maddie.
Yes, yes, those were our
They were our
instructors.
skydiving instructors.
So you
Yes.
weren't scared at all of heights? Oh, heck
No,
no. Uh-uh.
no.
Oh,
I went
yes.
twice in Oahu, and
Yeah,
I was like, I've already done it. I know I'm gonna enjoy it, but like, this is an easy challenge. Like,
yeah.
I'm not gonna waste my roadblock on this.
Yeah, and that was
Yeah.
kind of a similar strategy to what Simone and I had, where like I've gotten quite a few comments about how like, why would you force your sister to do all these roadblocks? Because by the time we left,
Oh,
she did
really?
4 and I did 2. Yeah, but we sort of figured like we should save anything that involves memory or math for me because I'm not good at many things, but the things that I am good at, I'm really good at. Whereas Simone is way more versatile. I feel like she has experience in all of these different areas. And so we were figuring like, okay, if it's not something that's necessarily catered to my strengths, then Simone should just do it. So we had a similar strategy too. And Simone, I would say you're definitely more versatile than me. Like with ice skating, you've taken ice skating lessons. With coaching, you've done choreography. With uh, with like building go-karts, you build your own furniture. Whereas like,
That's true. But notice how I kind of failed at each one of those.
no, that's
Like,
not
was the
true.
last person at go-karting, almost the last person at horses. So, Hannah, you are too kind.
Okay.
I think
You
I
know,
I
will
love
sell
commentary.
myself short in this
Simone's
game.
commentary, like your commentary throughout the show, like you had some really adorable moments. You're like,
Thank
it
you.
was like in the flower stadium. You're like, oh, look at all these flowers,
Yeah.
and then
Yes,
and the
and
horses, and then you're in the horses like, thank you, horses.
so
No, I feel like you girls too. We also love how every time you guys would get a clue, like throughout this whole season, how Natalie goes, "We love you," and then on the way to the car, we'll shout out whatever country it is, like "We love Croatia" or "We love Hungary."
is wait, my
It's
favorite
just
was
the
when
cutest thing.
Natalie was like, "We love Croatian men because Croatian blah blah," and stuff was like, "We're in a race, Natalie." And we
Yeah.
And now I go, Nat, let's
Oh,
go.
I
She
was
goes,
like, are you?
okay.
I said we love Croatian men, and
I was
in
like,
Dilly
Nat,
Dally, she's
reverse.
like,
Let's get out of
"We're
here.
on the Amazing Race. Back up, babe. Let's
Okay,
go."
so you guys jump and then you go to the sheep thing, the farm, right? That's what it's called, a
Yeah.
farm. Okay, so how was that challenge and how quick was it? Because I couldn't, as a viewer, I couldn't figure out like, did this take teams 30 minutes? Did it take them five?
So I know
There,
that
hold it.
because Tucker and Eric went first, and I know those boys. I can because the plane took when they landed between their plane and Nat's plane was like I don't know, but I kind of like looked at my watch and I saw like because the cars were right at the same field or house that we were waiting for people to land. And so the cars were already lined up, but then they had to run to the field and come back, and you can't see the field, you can't see the sheep from where we were when we were waiting for the skydivers. And so I was like, where the
Yeah.
hell are they running? And then they came back to the car, so I clocked them at 15 minutes. So it took Tucker and Eric 15 minutes, and they just freaking wrangled them. So everyone was like coursing them, but the boys were like, they didn't show that like you had to kind of like grab them. Not
Yeah.
everyone did that. And so ours took about 30 minutes, and I realized towards the end, which they didn't show, I started wrangling the sheep. So I started grabbing them by like the head, essentially, to
Yeah.
get them into the pen. And initially you see us like, oh, like, trying to like block them from where they were going. But eventually I was like, I'm taking these sheep and I'm putting them in the pen.
Steph
And I
had
was just,
to.
and I was like,
Yeah.
no, they're scared. They're so
'Cause
scared. I was like,
they're
we're in a race. I'm
scared.
freaking
I
out. I was
didn't
like,
think
are you
about
tired?
that. Like their eyes, you can see in their eyes how scared they are. So I was like really, I like was almost crying. I like didn't want to touch them. I didn't want to upset them because they were scared. But
Yeah.
Steph's like, we gotta get through now. She starts grabbing them, pushing them in, and it
I
worked.
don't remember if they have horns, but I just remember
Yeah, they
grabbing
did.
them
And she was just
by
grabbing
the
them.
horns and just
Obviously not
shoving them in
hurting
the
them.
pen.
You can't hurt them,
Yeah.
but she was doing her thing.
Oh,
Also, like I'm sure
Hannah's
you know,
like, okay.
the sheep didn't care. Like
yeah.
the sheep were just gonna knock into me. Like I needed some stilts for that one because it was a little bit difficult.
I was like watching you guys do that. I was kind of trying to envision myself and Simone and then also Rubina and Christine. And
Yeah.
I don't know what Rubina and Christine's experience is with animals, but Simone, I feel like you and I would have struggled because we would have been maybe a
Yeah.
little too gentle. We would have been like,
Yeah.
we're sorry, we're sorry.
Yeah.
That's literally it.
All right, girls,
That's
I'm running
Definitely.
short on time. I have to
Yes.
leave for an appointment.
Okay.
Is there any one last question that you girls want to ask?
Yes, 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 yes. Okay, favorite memory from the race, and I know we kind of touched on this earlier, but what did you and Nat take away from this experience as a whole?
As a whole, like Nat said earlier, like there was two types. There was the interpersonal experience and the personal experience, and Nat pretty much like said it earlier on to where it helped our relationship with like communication, but as a big sister too, like it helped heal me as a big sister because there was a moment and it kind of helped me understand like how our relationship has been going most of our lives and then like how we want it to go. There was a big pivotal moment where we're doing the monkfish,
Mhm.
and as I was trying to do the monkfish myself, now it's like help me, like I don't know how to do it. So it was a big metaphor for what it's like to be a big sister, to where while you're trying to figure out life, you're also helping your younger sibling figure out life
Yeah.
under the stressful condition of what is life. And so it allowed me to have like more compassion towards our relationship and towards what my role as it was a big sister was moving forward, and how we can like deviate away from that. And like having an inherent protection, like me being, also like managing Natalie's anxiety while also managing my anxiety, like it also like helped me have compassion towards myself, and like the things that I maybe didn't get from other people, but I was able to give to Natalie as a whole. And like it taught me how to communicate with Natalie more, instead of being like, wow, like what's wrong with you, or this and that. Is like, well, what is wrong with you? Like, how can I help? Like, instead of firing back at her under like a stressful condition, just being a little bit more compassionate and a little bit more gentle. Because like looking at myself, I thought I was a very gentle kind of person, but like looking at myself on TV, I was like, wow, I'm like really like serious and like intense sometimes. And maybe like, I can talk very monotone, but it's just the way my brain works. And maybe like, I can take it a step back and just be a little bit more emotional and gentle in the way I talk. So it was really cool to see like how I thought of myself versus how I really am, and it was a cool introspection.
Oh, thank you for
Oh,
sharing that with us, Steph.
yeah. That's
And
amazing. And
yeah, go
oh, I'm
ahead,
so
Simone.
sorry, Banana.
No, no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and I think that you definitely showed everybody who was watching what a great big sister you are.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
exactly.
And
And
also too, like Natalie did undermine herself a lot, and it was just more so her nerves than anything else, because she was totally capable. Like if you go back to the hockey rink where she's like, I don't know how to play hockey, and then she gets it on the second try, and it was her first roadblock, and I was like, Nat, you can do the roadblocks. Like you are just nervous, that is just your fear talking, but you are just so capable. And it's funny because Nat is so accomplished in her personal life, but when it
Mm.
comes to these little things, like she's like insecure, and I'm like, no, Nat, like you are more powerful than you think you are, and like you just need
Yeah.
to know your power, and like you are so capable. And it was sweet seeing how vulnerable she was, but it was also like, okay babe, like you are powerful, like you got this, and like you are way more capable than you are, and it's just your fear talking. And
Yes.
so like we kind of had these conversations which were like, oh, like I feel like this is really sweet, and like we're able to
Yes.
understand each other on a different level. I'm
After
like
the
tearing
first
up a little bit.
Yeah, after the first three legs, Steph was learning like to talk to me, like, because I cry before each leg. I get nervous, and it's just, I'm a sensitive girl, and I'm a little more sensitive than most people. And so like my anxiety does take over, and it's not like, oh my God, it's not like gonna stop me from doing things, but I have to process those emotions before doing certain things, in which other people don't have to process those emotions. Steph would start like knowing how to ask me questions, knowing how to talk to me. And this was the first show I've ever filmed where I had so much fun. After the second leg, Steph really started learning how to talk to me, how to calm me down, and also how to encourage me, make me feel safe. She would empower me before each leg. And honestly, like after that, I stopped getting anxiety, and I really started enjoying the race. I was like, this is the most fun show I've ever filmed. I started enjoying it. I had fun. So it was really cool to also be able to do a show with my sister, because I was able to finally enjoy it, right? So that was really cool for me too.
well, okay. I just have to say that to me sounds way, way, way infinitely more valuable than winning $500,000 each. Like money comes and it goes, but something that our parents have been really diligent about is just making sure that Simone and I always know like how lucky we are to have one another. And it sounds like through this experience, you guys were reminded of your strengths and your weaknesses and how to better communicate with one another. And that is so special and priceless. And that is the true like that's the true win. That is the true grand prize.
Yes.
It,
So
it really is. It truly is, and I think that like this experience was more than what people like. If and there's a quote that I said in one of the legs. I was like, if you think you know, you know. So to the viewers, like, if you think you know, you have no idea like what everyone's going through, how their relationships are being tested, and like how they're coming out differently on the end. And it's easy to judge behind a screen, but it's like you have no idea what people are going through like in the show. So hi, Mama.
Hi, it's Mercedes.
Sis, how are
Yes,
you?
Simone.
Hannah. Yeah, and the sisters.
Yes. It's so good to see you.
How are you?
Very good. Happy to, well, happy and not happy to see you.
I know,
Oh,
I know.
yes.
But your girls are so lovely, and we're kind of
Yes.
reflecting on our experience and how lucky Simone and I were to get to know Nat and Steph.
Yeah,
Yes.
that is a big human plus that you that you gain
Yes.
because and one of the things I regret very much, especially because I have to stay here and not traveling too much to my country and see my childhood friend, my college, my high school, and family friend, neighbors. So it's very important to keep in touch and make this fertilizer for an forever friendship. And right now at my age, I do a lot of regretting about that because I
Oh,
was living my life, I have my children, blah, blah, blah. And what about my friends? So I distanced, and now we are going back into our root, which is we lost a lot of time.
What
So
she's saying is that it's important to keep your friendships in contact and have a good relationship.
right.
yes, especially this country as well that we're talking about is a continent, really, North continent, American continent, and people are so dispersed. So still, one person living in the east side versus west side, coast side, and it's longer than going from here to Venezuela, for example, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So distance is distance, um, and you're gonna see growing together with success, pain, suffering, and
But
Right.
no
bonding.
more pain
I
and
love you.
suffering.
Bonding,
Only happiness. No more pain and suffering.
yo, whatever it is.
All right,
Awesome.
Mom, I'll talk to you later. Nat, I'll talk to you later. Girls, I love you. I
I
will see you in
love
New
you
York.
so
We
much.
love
Also,
you,
New York
Steph.
party, New York finale party. Everyone, if you're watching this,
Okay, so Nat, you're at this sheep. The sheep are jumping all over the place. And then and then you and Steph finally leave in fifth place, correct? Sixth.
I don't remember, to be
I can't
honest.
remember if Jack and Chelsea left right before you or right after.
Yeah, so we were, I think, no, we were like, so after the sheep, we left before Jack and Chelsea, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Did we leave before Jack and Chelsea?
I feel like it was right neck and neck.
Yeah, it was like
Right?
neck and neck, I
It
feel.
was neck
No,
and
we were neck and neck. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. So then you drive to where the pontoons are, and you have to build this boat. And you are someone who is an expert when it comes to building. So did you find that challenge to be easy, or was it hard because of the weight of the boat?
So I found that challenge building it was easy. The only thing is because I'm so much smaller, Steph's bigger. It was mostly Ma, agarra el perro. It was mostly about like telling Steph what to do because she's the big body. Because these are big barrels, it's a big platform, so
Right.
it's hard, right? So we were able to build it quickly, thank goodness. But if I was a bigger person, I would have been able to build it a little bit quicker. So it was a lot of more teamwork on that end, and then pushing it. You needed to figure out the right strategy. Deja la puerta abierta. Building it, sorry, was it building it? No, driving it, getting to the clue was more of a strategy.
Oh,
So that was like, like how, because we have sticks. These aren't, Mom, te puedes salir, porfi. So you have to literally like these are sticks. They're not, how do you call them, oars? Or
yeah.
Yeah.
it's literally just a long stick. So how can you really get yourself over? So we found the strategy of pushing ourselves. So I'd be in the
Mm.
front, Steph would be the anchor in the back, pushing the boat forward. So it was a lot of that. And then at one point, Steph's stick got stuck. So underneath the water is muddy, sticky water, like very sticky. So your sticks would get stuck and like you
Mm.
wouldn't be able to grab it back. so it would get stuck in the sand underneath. And it was like quicksand, so you had to be careful and hold it really tight. If not, you could lose it, and then the boat would float away, and then you wouldn't have your stick anymore. So you're dealing with a lot of different things there. That was definitely catered more to bigger bodies, in building aspect of it, and also the physicality of getting across that river, because
Hmm.
it was pretty difficult to just get through.
It did seem that way. It was clear that the teams that had women on them maybe struggled a bit more. Because again, so many of these things are kind of catered to bodies that hold a lot of weight up here and bodies that are just bigger and taller. So that has been one like frustrating thing about
Yeah.
watching this season. But something that you and Steph have consistently done that I have really enjoyed watching is you guys are really good at adapting. And I don't know if part of that comes from just your extensive experience competing on reality TV. Like you've been
Yeah.
competing for 9 years now. And so you know what works, what doesn't. And you've also kind of mastered, like, if we're trying something and it's not working, let's try something else. Like I
Yeah.
noticed that in Croatia during the last leg when you guys were on the boats, or yeah, when you guys were on the boats trying to get the buoys, you were like, okay, no, this isn't working, so let's stand up and let's try rowing at the same time. Like sometimes teams will kind of just stick to one strategy, and if it's not working for them, they won't pivot.
Yeah.
So that's something that has always kind of stuck out to me about you and Steph, and one of the very many reasons that you guys are beasts. And I kid you not, Simone and I were like, there have only been three all-female teams to win the Amazing Race, but like if
Yeah,
someone can do it, it's Nat and Steph or it's Izzy and Paige. So
100%.
Yeah.
yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
feel like because we grew up in so many different, like we grew up in Venezuela, and then we grew up in Florida. We lived in different places in Florida. Then we lived in Massachusetts as well. Lived in New Jersey. Me and Steph then moved to New York. So we lived in so many different places. We and around so many different cultures and experienced so many different things that we are very adaptable people. Like our personality, like I can hang out with anybody, right? Any culture, any background. I can really have a conversation with anyone and understand where they're coming from. So me and Steph are just very much about adaptivity, and that really helped us with that. But also we're both athletes, right? So Steph played college. She played basketball in high school and college. And then I was a state champion gymnast. I was a dancer. I was,
Oh, I didn't know
always,
that.
yeah, so I started off as a gymnast. But growing up, I always danced Latin music with my family. So I was always a dancer from the beginning. But I was a gym state champion gymnast. My gym closed down, so then I got more into dance. And then I played volleyball. I ran track. So like I've been doing a lot of sports growing up. I've always loved sports. So for me, I was just like, I already know being having I have an athletic brain. Like I'm an athlete. I consider myself an athlete. So with that, I already know the strategy. So what I did take strategies from being an athlete. Me and Steph would take strategies from being athletes, strategies from growing up in our upbringing and being around different people, but also strategies of the other shows that I've done. So I learned other tips and tricks as well that I implemented this season from Big Brother, from the challenge. So I did 3 challenges. So I learned from those shows as well. So I was able to really take note because I did also learn a lot on the challenge. Doing those 3 seasons, you're amongst different types of players, and so I cherry picked the best of all the experiences I've been in, but and implemented that here.
Thank you for giving us a bit of insight into how you and Steph were so good at that aspect of the game. That makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense. You grew up as an athlete and stuff too. And so you guys are finally able to get the clue from the clue box in the middle of this river
Yeah.
or lake, whatever you want to call it. And then
Swamp.
the swamp.
Aw.
And can you talk to me and Simone and the viewers about how you decided to do the bricks versus the sewing? Like,
Yeah.
is it because it seemed more straightforward?
No, so this is a good question actually. So, I mean, they're all good questions, but so I was always the one picking the detours and the roadblocks for me and stuff. Like the roadblocks, we'd talk about it and then we'd make like a decision of who wanted to do it. But the detours, I was the one picking the detours. So every detour until that point, I picked because I already know our strengths and I know, and I've done shows before. So like I was like, okay, we're gonna do this detour. It always worked out for us. We're gonna do this detour. It worked out for us. And I asked the right questions, right? There was one in, was it Croatia, the memory one that you girls did? We didn't meet. Was it in Croatia?
Oh,
Uh,
the Prague. That was in Prague.
Prague.
Yeah.
In Prague,
oh,
you
for
guys
the remember the
memory.
chair.
So me and Steph didn't sleep all night. So I knew what to ask, the right questions. Like, Steph, how's your memory right now? We remember we didn't sleep all night. So we were up for
Yes.
24 hours. So I was like, we're gonna go compete and use our brain. I was like, that's easier to use brute force, and deliver packages than having memory because I'm tired. I know I'm not gonna be good at memory. And if I asked Steph, can you do this memory one? Are you awake enough to do it? And she's like, yeah, I could, but and then I was like, okay, let's do the other one, like let's play it by ear. So each one I decided for us which detour to do, and it was worked out perfectly. I told Steph, I really want to do masks because I grew up also. I was in art honor society in high school, so I was
Uh,
always an artist as well. And I took art in college, just for fun because I've always loved art. So I was like, Steph, like I can sew, I can do all of these things. Like this is our, even if I don't know how to do it, I'll do it. And like, in the dancing challenge, in the dancing detour, Steph got flustered at one point, but I knew what to tell her what to do because I had learned my dance so quickly that I was like,
right.
Steph, take a few moments, take some breaths, calm down, look outside the window, just blank out for a second, like don't think about the dance. Just look outside the window, take some deep breaths, get back in. And then I gave her the strategies of 8 counts and how to do the dance. So I was giving her tips and tricks of how to do that one, right? So
Yeah.
like we're really good at working together, even though she was more of the leader in our group, helping me a lot more with a lot of things. I did do my due diligence, but um, yeah. So what was where am I getting to with this? What was the question?
No, how did you guys choose
Oh,
bricks instead of masks?
so then I was like, Steph, we're doing the masks. We're doing the masks. She's like, I don't know, bricks are going to be easier. You're just, she got a little intimidated by the word mask and the artistry that goes in. She's not, I don't know. I was a scrapbook girl. Were you girls scrapbook girls?
Simone. Simone is the artist.
Yeah, in a way.
So I was like, a mask, this is easy. I've made all my costumes growing up. I could do this. So, but Steph was intimidated by that. And then I was intimidated by the bricks. She was not. So we're like, okay, let's do masks, right? But then while we were driving, it was so hard to get any location. We randomly stumbled upon the ship bricks. So we were like, well, it was so hard for us to navigate in Romania. So because we just organically stumbled into the bricks, we're like, well, we can just start it and just get to going, right? So we just ended up doing it because ironically we stumbled on upon it. But I wish we would have done masks because we could have potentially still stayed in the game, right?
Wait a second. That's really interesting. So you guys ultimately decided on masks, but on your way there, you saw bricks and you guys decided to stop there.
Yeah, well, we couldn't even figure it all out. It was like the map was so confusing. We're
Yeah.
confused. So, and I relied heavily on Steph for navigation because I'm so bad at it. So imagine Steph's the one doing all the navigation the entire season we're on, like that was my bad. But if I was better at navigation, we would have done a lot better in that leg because I only relied on Steph for navigation and or help. I would always find people to help us navigate. But yeah, we were trying to figure out where we even were going. So we're just driving around trying to figure it all out, and we just stumbled upon the poop bricks.
Okay, now walk us through these poop bricks. How bad did they smell and how heavy were they? Like, I have so many questions about what
Yeah.
challenge encompassed.
That was definitely an endurance. It's a detour, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
That was an endurance detour. So the hard part is you have to like shovel, all different types of, all different types of things like hay, dirt, poop. So you get all these elements, you bring them to your station, you add water, you have to mash it all up together and make a little pie, a little poop pie, and then you have to grab this mud with your hands, put it in a wooden block to shape it, like we're making chocolate, and then you pat it all on top, remove it, make sure it's perfect. So it was endurance because I'm sorry, like you're tired. Like you're smushing it, you're like banging it around, you're cooking it up. That was so, I was out of breath. I was like, when is this gonna end? And then when you're done with one, you're so tired, you have to do another one. You're so tired, you have to do another one. So it was more physically draining for like a smaller body for me. Even Steph was getting tired too, but I had to step up. I was like, Steph was doing the hard stuff, but then I was like, Steph, like go take a break, go collect the items that we need, and then I'll continue just mashing together. And then while Steph came back, she would mash, and then I would go to build the bricks. So we had a system going, and especially that system was great because it gave each of us a moment to breathe. Um, and we actually, everybody also was like, wow, you girls caught up fast. So we actually caught up fast with that. We gave it like our 100%. We turned up our intensity and speed 100%. And honestly, if we got it correctly the first time, I think we had to remake two or three, which was fine. We just remade them quickly, like because we already had it in the mold. We just had to, destroy them, crumble them up, put them back into the what is it called, the wooden block,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
mold, put it back in the mold, shape it up, and remove it. So we did it quickly, but if we didn't have to remake them, we would have had a better fighting chance of staying in the game as well. But because we had to remake them, all the teams have now already gone when we're right there close enough to catch up with Chelsea and Jack or
Yeah.
whoever was in front of us. But
Sure.
unfortunately, it wasn't our leg to win,
Yeah.
but we caught up as quickly as possible.
Yeah. And when you
Yes.
guys made it to bricks, did you see Jag and Jazz, Tucker and Eric, Kyland and Taylor, Joseph and Adam at all? Or can you just remind me? Did you see every
Yeah.
single team?
When we got to the bricks, we saw almost every team. I can't recall if I saw Eric and Tucker, to be honest. I don't think they were there anymore. But I did see Joseph and Adam. I saw Chelsea and Jack. We saw Chelsea and Jack, Kylan and Taylor. So we saw all of them. And in our heads, I was like, Steph, like they're still working on this. Like this is gonna take us forever. And I was like, oh, the mask would have been a better choice. Like I knew in my gut we needed to do masks. That was originally where we're gonna go. But at that point, when there's so much stress, we saw it, we went, we gave it our all. But yeah, those teams were all there. But a lot of them were also struggling. So I was like, okay, some of these teams are struggling. I'm a perfectionist. I'm good with my hands. I can get this going. And Steph's strong, so we're gonna make it happen. But are you yelling at me, bud? He's yelling at me. But yeah, we needed we needed a little more time. Romania was not in the cards for us. It was not, our
Well,
synergy was not correct there. It was like our energy wasn't right.
yeah. And also, like, this leg in particular, leg six was pretty straightforward, the second leg in Croatia, but like legs five and seven, in my opinion, were super just like physical and gritty. You were literally down in the dirt making
Yep.
Yeah.
making poop bricks.
Yep.
And
It's stinky too. You smell the poop. The poop is in your hands. The
I'm
poop is
sure
all over you. Like the poop is splashing on your face.
I could honestly smell it through the screen, but
Yeah.
you guys get to the park and you see Phil. At that point, did you pretty much know that you guys were in last place, or was there a bit of hope? Because the clue did say the last place team may be eliminated. So,
So Steph's really smart. She counted all the cars. So all the cars were parked in the same parking area. She counted all the cars she already knew. So I was being ignorant and I was just not listening to Steph. I was like, maybe there's hope. Maybe this is like a mistake, like I was just hoping on a prayer. And when we got there, Phil was like, unfortunately, girls, you have been eliminated. And like, I start crying hysterical and like, we're covered in poop. Like we were literally covered in poop. That's how we got eliminated. It was pretty sucky.
oh, okay, but you couldn't even tell because you girls still looked beautiful.
Thank you.
Yes.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. We had to get to the hotel and I had to wash all of our clothes.
Yeah.
It was and it was brown water everywhere, poop everywhere. It was the craziest cleanup job ever.
Wait, how bad did your backpacks? Because Simone and I got eliminated right after the fish, and so our
Yeah.
backpack smelled like we just honestly
Yeah.
smelled like fish even after getting to the States. Did you
Yeah.
guys still smell like manure?
Yeah, we still smelled poopy, but we also that fish, it took us a while to get that fish scent off of us. I had to like
Yeah.
rewash the clothing. It was a lot. It was stinky.
Very.
Yeah,
Okay,
it
so
was really.
we're going to ask you, Nat, the same questions that we asked your sister. Now that, we've gotten to the end of your guys' journey on The Amazing Race, what is your favorite memory and maybe something that you and Steph have taken away from this experience that you haven't already shared?
Um, I mean, I feel like my takeaway from the experience and like the fun memories I have with Steph, like, yeah, competing together was so, because like we've never been on a team together, and being an athlete, like that was so fun to be on a team with my sister. And I felt just so confident because of my sister. I had someone that I know is good at everything. And if she's not good at something, she's going to try it and give it her all. So I knew my teammate was so solid proof. So I was really excited about being on a team with someone that has the skill sets. And like Steph has my weaknesses are Steph's strengths. So that was really exciting for me, right? Always a solo player in all the shows I've done. And then the one teammate I had on one of the challenges, that was someone that I heard from the grapevine that was going to steal the money from me if we won. So, I never had anyone that I was a teammate with that I could fully trust. So, my having my sister, I'm like, I could fully trust her. This is so exciting. And like it was really fun even off camera. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but like, one night we're in a hotel and like we're singing, we're having concerts, jumping on the bed. Like it just
Oh,
like it brought us back to like our teen years and our childhood, having slumber parties together. We giggled off camera a lot. Like we were really fun off camera and we're just having the best time ever. So we're making sure to do our concerts, to be singing together, to have fun. And the teamwork didn't just end on the field, on the legs. It didn't end after you got to the pit stop, right, with Phil. The teamwork continued even after, when you're like either travel days or your sleep days in the hotel. So our teamwork continued there. Like, sometimes I had to be the laundry girl and I washed all of our laundry. Sometimes Steph had to be the laundry girl. The studying in the rooms. So it was just like a lot of that. But I mean, the best takeaway is like I got um this sped up me and my sister's relationship becoming a friendship, and it fixed our relationship. We understand what we use. It didn't fix the Amazing Race, didn't fix our relationship, right? Because the Amazing Race is giving you an experience, and you can take whatever you want out of that experience. But me and Steph set our intentions, and we use the Amazing Race as a tool to align with those intentions and to achieve those intentions, and that's what we did. So I love that it brought us closer together. I love that we have this once in a lifetime opportunity that no one else will ever get with their sibling other than a small percentage of us. And it bonded us like we're best friends. And, we've had ups and downs before the show, ups and downs during the show, ups and downs after the show. But I would say since the premiere at LA, me and my sister are solid proof. We communicate perfectly. We are so respectful of each other, and the takeaway is greater than anything I could have ever had. But I have the bug now. I would love to do something else with Steph. I would love to do
fun.
something else with Steph.
I do. I love how you refer to it as a bug. I call it my itch. Like I
Yeah.
have an itch
Yeah,
again. I would love to compete again with Simone, but Simone, they have to give us a show where all you need to do is like be good at dance or be good at
Yes.
I
memory.
know. Or
Those shows.
even like we were just saying, Nat, Hannah, and I were saying how it would be so fun just like to be in a show where, like all of the train moments that we all had where we were just like hanging out. If we had to do that, but that was just like the essence of the show. So like all you had to do was just like sit around and then just like hang out.
That's
Especially
No, but
with
that
this
sounds good.
class. No, like literally, that would be so fun. It would be easy
Put us
breezy.
all in a villa in Spain, okay? All this cast, put us in a villa in Spain, and we got
Exactly.
you.
Exactly. No, I feel like that would be so fun. Or like even like if this cast was like reoccurring for the race and like
Yeah.
it was still in the context of the race that we got to compete do a show, like I would do this 1,000 times over.
Yeah.
How about you?
You would do
Yeah.
it again. What about
Oh,
you?
100%.
Yeah.
absolutely. I would run the race again with Simone 1,000 times over. But I'm not doing it with Tucker and Eric, and I'm not doing it with
No,
Jag and Jazz.
I'm out. You know what I do
Yes.
wish?
And what
And I want to put this out there, and we need a campaign for this. I wish for an all-female season of The Amazing Race.
Yes. Yes.
Like honestly, like do it like that one season, like the Olympics. The women compete against each other, the men compete against each other. But you, Hannah, I think you said, why don't we do a season where it's a parallel season? And this was you, I think you said this, and
Yeah.
you said have all the girls competing against the girls for first place there, all the guy teams competing against them for our first place win. So we have two winners, right? Where
Exactly.
I'm just saying, let's have a girl only season. That would be iconic.
That would be iconic. I don't think production would ever go for that, which is why I'm suggesting doing the parallel season because production loves their boy teams. They
I
do.
know. I know.
But like if you're not going to change the challenges to make them more equitable, then okay, fine. Just split us up into all girl teams competing
I
against
agree.
each other, all guy teams competing against each other, and you don't have to change the prize pot because you would just reduce it by half.
Yeah.
That's
Can you pitch this? Can you pitch this, please?
I don't know
Yeah.
where to pitch it to, but
We gotta tell the producers. We gotta
Elise,
tell the
Bertram,
yes,
if you guys are
the
listening,
show owners, the
I
founders of the
think
show. We gotta pitch this.
I think they should. I think it's again like if you don't want to change the challenges, that's fine. Don't make them more equitable. Instead, just change the structure of the show.
Yeah.
But Simone, do you have any rapid fire questions for Nat, and then we can
I
end?
do. Yes. Okay. Natalie, we have a little rapid fire segment on the podcast. Okay. Starting off with, do you prefer red eye flights or morning flights?
Morning flights.
Ooh. Okay. Do you prefer to travel by plane or train?
Train.
Ooh. Okay.
Oh,
I love a good train ride as
I
well.
don't like I don't like being in the air on airplanes. Like keep me on the ground.
So fair. What would you say your go-to travel snack is?
Ooh, peanut M&Ms.
Ooh.
And
Hey, that's
also
a good one.
peanut M&Ms are one of my main ones, and seaweed snacks always. So
wait,
those
Ah,
would be my two.
seaweed snacks.
Nat's
So
good.
good.
You're making me
Okay,
hungry.
I know.
right? What would you say is an underrated travel accessory? Like something that makes your travel experience so good that you think like everybody should invest in this because it makes like traveling that much more comfy.
Um, a therapy dog.
Ah,
This
we
is
all need
like
a
my
puppy.
best. This is my best travel companion and accessory, and he makes all my flights so much better, right, buddy? This is
Everyone needs a
Uh,
pup.
but also for
exactly.
like him, but also I travel so much. I my travel accessories that I have are I don't know, like I have so many travel accessories too that I've used. What would be my main one? I would say, like my skincare, I would say. Like my
Yeah,
face mask. I like to do my skincare, my face mask while I'm on the flight,
Ooh,
all that good stuff. Yeah.
game changer
totally.
because the air definitely dries out your skin.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Simone, what else?
Exactly. Well, the big finale question is what is your dream destination place to travel to that you haven't been?
Anywhere in Asia. I would love to go to Asia. I like that's the only area in the world and Australia that I've never visited. So I would love to go to Japan. I'd love to go to Singapore. I'd love to go to Thailand. I want to go everywhere. Okay. So Asia would be my next hit.
Let's
Okay.
make it happen, and then we could all get a villa there and we could all hang out.
Yes. Yes.
Nat, thank you so much for coming on our
Yes.
podcast. We adore you. We adore Steph. We adore your mom and your
Yes.
puppy, really your whole family. Like you girls truly have become like big sisters to us. We can't say enough
Genuinely.
about you.
Well, I love you girls. Thanks for having us on your podcast. Sadly,
Yes.
we're all on a podcast right now for the same reason, but I love you girls and I'm so grateful for our friendship.
Same.
And I can't wait to see you girls on finale.
I know. We can't
Us
wait.
too. We're so
Everyone,
excited.
make sure you like, you comment, and you subscribe down below. Stay tuned for our episode next week. We have some special guests from our season of The Amazing Race. I'm not going to say who yet, but it'll be fun. So until next time, guys, bye.
Bye.
Bye.